should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. According to the Longman edition of Contemporary English, oil exploration encompasses the processes and methods involved in locating potential sites for oil drilling and extractions. Renewable energy, according to the same dictionary, is an energy that won't run out. It is natural and self-replenishing and usually have a zero or low carbon footprint. But before I proceed, it is indeed wise and appropriate to give honor to whom honor is due. And with this, I say, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shezi Chinazamata, a proud student of Government Secondary School Karshi, Abuja, standing before you today to oppose the motion which states Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Firstly, Nigeria stopping oil exploration and focusing on renewable energy is one step that will lead to economic downturn, as Nigeria tends to invest on renewable energy, which may not be an easy task for a developing country like ours. Do you know that if solar power, in one example of renewable energy, is focused in Nigeria, it has a lot of use to do with? This includes weather dependent, which may be erratic or irregular, undergoes sophisticated manufacturing processes, has an initial high capital cost, and most importantly, batteries have negative environmental impact, especially during manufacture and disposal. So you see, whether it has low carbon footprint or not, one thing is for sure, it is also harmful. Secondly, oil exploration and production helps the government to fund public services and infrastructures. Not only that, there are vital byproducts gotten from it, which includes petroleum gel, avastly, used for the smoothness of the body, coal tar, used for the tying of wood, fossil fuel, and lots more. Thirdly, oil exploration and production plays a significant role in the life of an individual. On the positive side, it leads to economic opportunities, particularly in areas where oils are discovered, leading to an overall economic growth of the nation. There will be a large compensation fees given to these citizens, leading to the betterment of their family, oneself, and resident opportunities. In addition, oil exploration can bring about high value to Nigeria currency. Dear audience, you agree with me when I say Nigeria money does not have value, but the fact is that this can change drastically if oil exploration should be ignited more, notwithstanding the fact that Nigeria produces 1.8 million barrels of oil per day and sold to overseas countries. If this country should trade with our currency, I not only think, but I believe that Nigeria money can have value through oil exploration. Lastly, let us consider employment. The oil sectors provide direct and indirect job opportunities to the graduate and undergraduate citizens of Nigeria, from the engineers to transporters to marketers and finally to food sellers at oil sites. This has resulted to the massive downfall of unemployment rate in Nigeria. My opponents may opine that what is the level of affordability of oils in Nigeria? But I stand today to assert what is also the level of renewable energy. Yes, it's true. Oils are now being sold at a high rate in Nigeria. But the question is, can't it be stopped? Of course it can. It can be reduced if the government of Nigeria are willing and ready to tackle the problem facing Nigeria economy, notwithstanding the fact that Nigeria owes 144.67 trillion naira at the end of 2024 with no hope of paying soon. If Nigeria, a developing country, should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy, tell me, where will the capital come from? Prevention is better than cure. In conclusion, oil exploration has proven to be the major driver of Nigeria economy. It is crucial to address these challenges and ensure that the benefit of oil sectors are shared equitably and sustainably. Instead of stopping oil exploration, why not make it more advanced? Food for thought. Stop oil exploration, expose the country to an economic hardship, which will eventually lead to economic suicide. Thank you.
The already established protocol. My name is Etuba Fezia Ibrahim, a student of Government Secondary School Karshi, Abuja, standing before you here today to oppose the motion that states Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. While the idea sounds progressive, it is unrealistic and dangerous for Nigeria's current economic and developmental state, and here is why. Firstly, oil exports are a significant source of revenue for Nigeria's government, funding public services and infrastructure projects. Oil remains the backbone of Nigeria's economy. It contributes over 80% of our export earnings and a large portion of government revenue. Abruptly halting exploration would cripple our economy, lead to mass unemployment and social unrest. With Nigeria's oil reserves valued at over $100 billion, can the country afford to abandon this resource? Secondly, Nigeria's energy demands are high, and oil is currently the primary source of energy. Stopping oil exploration could lead to energy shortages, impacting the country's economic and social development. Despite the push for renewable energy, global demand for oil is still high, and Nigeria's oil exports are likely to remain competitive. The energy transition to renewables in Nigeria is a journey, not a jump. Nigeria faces chronic electricity shortages, and renewables, while promising, are not yet able to meet our national energy demand. We must develop a strong and stable energy mix and not throw away what currently works. Thirdly, oil is a reliable source of energy, whereas the renewable sources of energy like wind and solar are intermittent. Nigeria's energy infrastructure is currently designed to support oil exploration and production. Also, oil-producing regions in Nigeria have economies that are heavily dependent on the oil industry. Even the global economy still depends on oil, and as long as that demand exists, Nigeria should benefit. Stopping oil exploration will not end global fossil fuel use. It will just shift the opportunity to other nations. If with all these benefits, my opponent still thinks we can venture into renewable energy, then it will be interesting to know that Nigeria lacks the infrastructures to support large-scale renewable energy projects. The country will need to invest in new infrastructures, including solar panels, wind turbines, and energy storage facilities. These large-scale renewable energy projects can lead to land use conflict and habitat destruction. Renewable energy technology is expensive and requires skilled labor, and Nigeria currently lacks the local manufacturing base and technical capacity to fully transition without massive external support. My opponents may argue that the carbon emission from oil exploration and production has brought about climate changes. This is a true fact, but technological advancements in the oil industry can reduce the environmental effects of oil exploration and production and also mitigate the greenhouse gas emissions from oil production, making it both environmentally friendly and a sustainable option. Having said all this, the best practice is not to stop oil exploration, but to use its profits wisely. Conclusively, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, I believe you have sought to agree with me on the fact that stopping oil exploration and venturing into renewable energy is not the best option for Nigeria today. Thank you.
With due adherence to protocol, I am Augustine Oche Clement, a student of Government Secondary School Karshi, opposing the motion that Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Oil is not just a resource to Nigeria, it is the lifeline of our economy. Stopping oil exploration will be like cutting off the branch on which we sit on. With this in mind, let us now explore clear reasons why Nigeria should continue oil exploration. First and foremost, let us be realistic. Oil exploration is going to the pillars of Nigeria's economy. According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, oil and gas account for over 85% of Nigeria's export earnings and around 50% of government revenue. Stopping oil exploration abruptly would create a massive economic vacuum which renewable energy cannot fill, at least not yet. Ladies and gentlemen, while renewable energy is a noble goal, Nigeria is not ready to depend on it entirely. We lack the infrastructure, funding, and technical know-how to roll out solar, wind, and hydro energy efficiently across the nation. Most rural communities still don't have stable electricity and depend on petrol and diesel generators. Is it wise to stop oil exploration when it powers our homes, businesses, and hospitals? Furthermore, the opposing side may conclude that oil exploration has brought about disasters like tanker explosion, which has caused the tragic loss of lives. My purpose here is to reset their mindset on the causes, which are the poor safety standard, weak enforcement of regulations, and illegal activities. These are cracks in the system, human and management failures, not a reason to burn down the house just to kill a rat by stopping oil exploration. Rather, we should adopt a balanced approach, continue oil exploration while gradually investing in renewable technologies for the future. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, if a man throws away his only bread because he hopes for a cake tomorrow, he will starve today. Therefore, Nigeria must not throw away her only current lifeline in pursuit of a future that we are not yet ready for. We should strengthen what we have while prepared for what we hope for. Thank you.
With respect to the already existing protocols, my name is Chezi Chinazamata. My team and I have laid bare truth. Oil isn't just a resource, it's the very foundation of Nigeria's economy. My opponent proposed a halt to oil exploration, but this is a very dangerous fantasy disconnected with the immediate needs of over 200 million Nigerians. To suddenly stop oil exploration isn't a transition, it's an economic catastrophe. It means mass unemployment, a crippled budget, and a national instability. Yes, we advocate for a new transition to renewables, one that doesn't sacrifice our present for an uncertain future. Abandoning oil now will be self-sabotage, pushing millions of Nigerians into hunger and hardship. What Nigeria needs is a pragmatic path forward, leveraging our strength to build a sustainable tomorrow. We must be realistic, we must be responsible, and we must be ready to secure our present for a great future, which can only be done with oil exploration. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Government Science and Technical College, Area 3, Gariki, Abuja. Our motto is Education for Self-Reliance, This corresponds with our slogan, GSTC, Arise and Shine. GSTC is one of the schools participating in the ongoing National Energy 360 debate competition in the senior category. The topic is, Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. GSTC is to oppose the motion. On this note, let us introduce the speakers. Chief Speaker, Michael Ezekiela Anyilolo. Second Speaker, Chidebere Chiagozilam Benedita. And the third Speaker, Kobo Eric Kato. Let us relax and watch their presentation. Thank you.
Should Nigeria leave the known for the unknown? Good day, Mr. Chairman, honorable judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow students. My name is Michael Ezekiela Ainolo from Government Science and Technical College, Area 3, Abuja, under the senior category. I am here to take a stand against the motion which states that Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. But before I go further, I would like to define the major terms that will give us a better understanding on the topic at hand. According to Google, oil exploration can be defined as the process of finding or assessing underground deposits of oil and gas. It has to do with geological or geophysical surveys, drilling, testing, and so on. Renewable energy is the energy that is generated from natural resources which can be replenished over time, such as rain, sun, wind, and so on. According to Oxford Learner's Dictionary, 10th edition, to stop means to no longer do something, meaning to put an abrupt end to something. Putting a stop to something has deadly consequences that are too expensive. I am saying no with the following points. 1. Nigeria will suffer immense revenue loss. Do you know how much Nigeria will be deprived of if we were to stop oil exploration, especially with what is going on in Iran? In 2024, Nigeria made $32.9 trillion with an exchange rate of 1,546 naira to a dollar. This will amount to 50.88 trillion with the total oil production of 566.79 million barrels, while revenue from renewable energy is put at 0.3 billion in 2022 with a 10% increase annually. With such an expected revenue from renewable energy, can Nigeria fund her budget of 49.74 trillion with 4.638 billion naira? My opponents may be quick to read out the statistics that emphasizes on the negative effect of carbon emission as a result of oil exploration to climate change. But let's not forget that in 2020, coronavirus alone took 704,753,890 people worldwide. Malaria alone took 200,000 people in Nigeria. In 2024, however, carbon emissions as a result of oil exploration are linked to death but are not the main cause of death. Yes, fossil fuel is not renewable, but it has been proven that based on current production and consumption level, oil exploration can last for 64 years with an estimated reserve of 32.74 billion barrels and even last longer than 64 years with new discoveries, which is a long time to stop now. Stopping of oil exploration and focusing on renewable energy is one thing, but sustaining it is another. Sustainability is the ability to process and maintain a particular process, especially in terms of management and development. I don't think Nigeria will be able to sustain renewable energy because majority of Nigerian landmass are in remote areas with limited access. For example, how do you make the Creeks area a part of renewable energy? The isolated lands in the delta to the Atlantic Ocean and the highlands of the north. Stopping of oil exploration and focusing on renewable energy is not feasible. In conclusion, we are not saying that transiting or diversifying the economy into renewable energy is impossible, but stopping of oil exploration is like a death sentence to Nigeria. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, sir, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chidebere Benedita from Government Science and Technical College, Area 3, Gariki, Abuja, under the senior category. I am here to oppose the motion which says that, and I quote, Nigeria should stop all exploration and focus on renewable energy. My first speaker has been graciously enough to define the major terms, so I will now go straight to oppose the motion with the following points. 1. Nigeria has been dependent on oil exploration even before her independence, so it will be very difficult to stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy, which is a new frontier to the economy. Aside from the byproduct gotten from crude oil, other products like fertilizers, insecticides, academic products, medical products, beauty products can be gotten, which is a contributor to Nigeria's revenue. Statistics shows that oil and gas exploration account for more than 80% of export earning, 95% of foreign exchange, 73% of federal government revenue, 14% of eGDP, and as well as 65% of government budget revenue. This is to show that over 65 years, this is what has kept the country in existence. Now tell me, if the country moves to exploring renewable energy, the years it will take to be stable, who will fund it? My opponents may be quick to say that oil exploration has done more harm than good to the nation's development. It has made the economy vulnerable, dependent on global price and revenue mismanagement. But oil exploration has also contributed immensely to the nation's development. It has been used to achieve social infrastructural developments like building of roads, laboratories, medical schools, research institutes, and so on. Drive through the city of Abuja. Isn't it beautiful? That is oil money. In addition, we are here opposing the stopping of oil exploration and moving to renewable energy. I ask, can it be sustained in Nigeria? I know that Nigeria has significant renewable energy potentials, particularly in wind, solar, hydropower, and biomass. But renewable energy is not a short-term plan of 1, 2, 3 years. It is to be Nigeria's new revenue provider. Furthermore, Nigeria has the track record of each successive government having its own agenda, lack of continuity, and relatively new democratic government when compared to the United States democracy. In conclusion, renewable energy is so much demanding in funds and technology that it's only the revenue gotten from oil exploration that can provide the funding for it. So to suggest that Nigeria stops oil exploration and focus on renewable energy is to suggest that a woman should be killed in preference to the expected baby from the pregnancy she is yet to conceive. Thank you.
Standing on existing protocol, my name is Kobo Erikato from Government Science and Technical College, Karshi, Abuja, under the senior category. I am here to oppose the motion which says Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. We have heard from my first speaker the meaning of oil exploration, renewable energy, stop. Therefore, I am opposing the motion with the following point of mind. 1. Nigeria does not have the facility to store this renewable energy when produced. Renewable energy by nature are intermittent. Batteries are required to collect energy and store energy during peak production period for distribution in a controlled, consistent manner during period of low or no production. What this means is that during rainy season, where there is minimum sunshine, can Nigeria still have energy to use? If Nigeria moves from fossil fuel to renewable energy, what is the assurance that our vehicles will still move? Our house is better lit, increase in production output, and so on. Moreover, if Nigeria cannot facilitate the storage of its agricultural products, is it renewable energy they can store? 2. Before the advance of oil exploration, Nigeria still experiences various climatic seasons as the country still experiences dry season, rainy season, harmattan. Nothing has changed in the various climatic seasons we experience. 3. Moreover, why Nigeria is recognized around the world today is majorly from the benefits of oil exploration. Scholarship has been given from wealth gotten from oil exploration, universities built from oil money, employment gotten because of oil exploration, which has helped improve the life of their dependents. 4. Nigeria lacks the skilled personnel to focus on renewable energy. Even if we can train personnel in renewable energy technologies and project management, it takes a very long time. This makes stopping oil exploration impossible because money will be needed to train these personnel. Thank you.